your speaking test, and in this test you will have to stay here 14 minutes or more. IELTS is an easy examination. You don't have to be very confused. Be relaxed and don't find any fear here. We are the teachers who are very cooperative with the students and helpful, and we always try to make an environment, a jolly environment for the students in the examination hall. In your IELTS examination, you will have to face 3 parts, part 1, 2 and 3. In the part 1, you will be asked about yourself and some familiar questions. Then you will go to part 2, and in this part you will be given a cue card, and at first you will be given 1 minute to write down the necessary information what you will need while you will be speaking, and then you will be given 2 minutes to say 1 to 2 minutes to say what you have already planned or thought during this 1 minute. Then we'll go to part 3, and in this part you will be asked some questions related to your part 1 and 2 also, and this part is called a discussion 1. You must argument here, you must argue here. This is an argumentative part. Also it is a negotiation part, so this part is very crucial for IELTS better band score achievement. Now let's start. Let's talk about what you do. Do you work or are you a student?
At the present, I am still a student. I just complete my diploma course from Polytechnic, and it was from Bangladesh Technical Board, and I am completing my diploma course from National Institute of Engineering Technology, which is situated in the Dhaka city.
Okay. Why did you choose this course?
Actually, it's my dream to be an engineer in future, so that is why I was chosen that course. Especially my father was very impressed me that this course was very good in my future. I will be face so many special things in future if I have a if I finish this course. So that is why I was chosen that course.
Okay, now let's talk about reading. Did your parents read to you when you were a child?
Yes, obviously, because when I was a child, my parents teach me how can I read anything, and especially my parents helped me to learn about the reading process, whatever it was in the English language or in Bengali. So I think this was very helpful for me because my parents done lots of things to learn that reading process.
Okay, now as you are a student, so do you read for pleasure very often?
Actually, I don't read pleasure very often because at the moment I just starting my IELTS preparation. I don't have enough time to read those kind of things. I just read stories or the IELTS reading books which are very essential for my IELTS examination. So I think these are the books which at the moment I read much more than the other books.
Okay, as you said, you are preparing for your IELTS examination test, and you are learning English as it is an international English language testing system. Which do you find easier, reading in English or writing in English, and why?
I think the most easier thing I have seen that is the writing part of the four module, because on that part I just have to need apply my things and things which I knew before that, and so I just apply my actual scenario in the books. But when it comes to the reading side of the IELTS modules, it's very much tough for me because I didn't know about the conditions of IELTS reading purposes, so that I at the moment I don't like reading practice more, because it's like very disgusting for me.
Okay, our part 1 is over. Now we are going to the part 2, and in this part, as I have instructed you before, in this part you will be given 1 minute at the beginning to write down the necessary information, and you will be given a cue card. Here is your cue card, and this is a paper for you. You have pencil already, so this is your cue card. You have first 1 minute to write down. Your time starts now. Okay, your time is up. Now you have 1 to 2 minutes to say your cue card. Your time starts now.
Actually, in my family, just 2 members are living with me, but of these 2 members, I like to spend much more time with my brother and like to communicate with him, and it's actually gives me lots of enjoyable moment when I talk with him. And actually I always talking with him on the side of games, because he loves to play games, and sometimes he confused about the process to play a game. So on that time I suggest him that what are the process to play the game necessarily, and so that is why he also thanked me that process to know about the game. And so actually I spent time with him almost 5 or 4 hours in a day, except the sleeping times. At the time, actually not much time we actually talking about the games, but almost the vast amount of time we spent here. We always keeping talking with about the process and the technique to play games. Actually, the most enjoyable thing I have seen that at that process, on that time when I actually learned about the game for my brother, I actually know about so much things which I didn't have learned in the past. So I think it gives us yes, enjoyable moments, but also it gives us lots of knowledge about games, which are actually essential for our good mind, our mental health, and also gain our knowledge about
Okay, your time is up. Your time is up. Do other people in your family like talking to this person too?
Yes, obviously. Talking with my brother is always like for my other family members, because my brother is always talking with so much happiness, which gives everyone very much interest to talk with him. So that is why always all the sudden whoever comes in my home, they always like to talk with my brother.
Okay, our part 2 is over. Now we are going to the part 3, and in this part I have already said you this is a discussion part, and in this part you must argue what have been given to you. Let's go on to talk about elderly people who live with their families. In our country, do most grandparents live in the same house as their children and grandchildren? Why?
Actually, in our countries, most of the people are religious, and if we talk about the Muslim families, we are very respectful to our parents as well as the grandparents as well, because in our religion it has a vast amount of respect which given of those people who are actually elder than us. So I think this is the one reason why we like to spend some time with them, and also spend whole our life with them. We don't try to release our home, release them throughout our homes. So I think that is the one reason they living with me, with us. But on the other hand, nowadays we looking that some people are not living with their parents, but I think this is a very unexpected reason at the moment, but I think they will be knew about the good things which their parents made before when they are elder.
Okay, what are the advantages and disadvantages of grandparents of living in the same house as their children and grandchildren?
I think the most significant advantages I have seen that is their experience which they shared with us, because they are living in that world over 60 or 65 years, so they had the most of experience throughout the world. So if we spend much more time with them, they will share their experience with us, and which gives us lots of knowledge about this world and also the general life which they lived before. And but the other hand, if we talk about the disadvantages, I don't look any disadvantages for that, because they are the grandparents of us, so they have the right to live with us.
So you are very optimistic, what I have seen. Now let's talk about retirement. Do you think some people retire from their jobs too early, and why this kind of thing has happened?
I think it's the person's rights actually. Some people are very often for their favorite things. When they're working in a place, they have not enough time to enjoy their life. So sometimes they retire from their work early to enjoy his life, to do lots of things which they don't did when they are working. So I think that is the one reason, and also people who like to throughout the world are also like to retire from their work as early as possible, because to visit all over the world it needs too much time. But when we looking to work on workplaces, they don't give enough time to do that. So I think that is why the people who like to throughout the world, they retire their work very early.
Okay, why do you think some people feel unhappy when they first retire from work?
I think there are more reasons for that, because if we working in a place more than 20 or 25 years, there is an emotion which related to that work, and that's the one reason why people are not left in that work, because on that case they work almost 20 to 30 years in one place, and there are so many people are surrounded there with him on that workplace, which are very familiar for him, and also they are very likely to be family persons. So I think that's the one reason why people are not try to retire from their work as early as possible. They are likely to stay in work after their retirement.
Okay, now let's consider old age in the future. What kinds of problem can be caused when the proportion of elderly people in the country keeps rising?
I think rising the population which there are rising the people population, there's the who people those are over 60 is caused lots of bad things, because if we looking at the workplaces, there are so many workplaces are available. Almost vast amount of workplaces are there where the young people need to do some works which are very important to our country and country's economy. So if we looking at to the elder people, they don't be able to do those kind of work which are very important to our country's economy progress. So I think to progress our country's economy, it needs so many young people which are available in the workplaces. But on the other hand, elder people are not much available in the workplaces. So that is why rising the population of young elder people is caused many bad things.
Okay, our part 3 is done, our examination was over. Now actually you are getting band score 5.5 for your IELTS speaking test, and you will have to recover something as you have some problems in your speaking. At first, what I want to say, is that your article problem is crucial here. And in part 2, you are fluent, but you are not arranging the story or the topic. Consequently, you are mumbling. That is very bad. And sometimes I also find number problems from you and what limitations. So you must be very careful about these. And also, you are newly developing your complex sentences. So you must have to be very veteran or very expert in this sector. So thank you very much.